Welcome to Flow and Restore Yoga. My name is Michelle Chua. Grab a couple of yoga blocks, a strap, a pillow, a blanket, any additional kinds of props that you would like to practice with, especially for the second half, which is yin and restorative. Let's begin in a comfortable seat of your choice. You might want to grab your blanket to sit on top of, or a block. Actually, let's begin in hero's pose. So you set your knees in front of you, sitting up either on a prop between your ankles or directly on your calves or the ground between your feet. And just to make sure your knees are safely aligned, have them no wider apart than your hips distance, and make sure that your feet are neither turned out nor in, but your toes are directed back. So I want to review the very first practice of the first limb of the 8 limbs of yoga, according to the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, or the Ashtanga yoga system. And the first limb of yoga are 5 practices, and they establish ways in which we connect with the external world, the outside world. And the very first limb is called ahimsa, or the first of the first limb. And it translates as non-violence. A few classes ago, I talked about our approach to our physical yoga practice. So all of these, even though this is a way to connect with the outside world, it of course begins with how we are relating to ourselves. So how do we practice non-violence with ourselves in our inner world? So from there, we connect with the outer world. The practice of physical yoga or any kind of wellness practices, spiritual practices. One question I have for you is, what is your approach? What is the way in which you approach the practice? What is the attitude, the feeling tone, the energy? Because we can have a plethora of healthy eating, healthy exercise, healthy meditating, self-care practices. But by what energy are they colored? So nonviolence is cultivating the energy of loving kindness in the actions that you do. So while some things we do for our health are sort of obligations or things that we must do for ourselves, how do we come from the energy of love, from the energy of care? So that's something that I invite you to consider and to cultivate in today's practice, so that hopefully when you leave your personal practice relating to yourself with loving kindness, you have that sort of energy to bring with you into the outside world. Let's begin checking in with your body. You might close your eyes, you might set a hand on your heart, a hand in your belly. Start to observe the sensations in your feet, in your legs, up your torso, and everywhere else. And when you encounter something that might feel tense or uncomfortable, how do you bring a caring curiosity to that? So tuning into your physical state, sense the way your body is breathing naturally. Assessing what your energy level and quality is right now. Become aware of your thoughts and the activity of your mind. How are you feeling mentally and emotionally? Being with yourself in however way you're feeling. Start to pinpoint something you can appreciate right now, offering gratitude as we begin the practice. What can you celebrate about yourself today? What can you thank yourself for? Maybe the fact that you showed up for your practice. Now start to pinpoint something you would like to focus on building, on cultivating. What is your intention for today's practice? To continue to develop after this practice. And as a means of letting go and offering up our efforts, choose someone or something to dedicate today's practice to. It might be an individual or a community or cause. And with that, take a deep breath in, fill up your lungs and belly, releasing any stagnancy, open the mouth and release any sound. And setting our intentions with 3 ohms. Inhale deeply. Begin to slow your breath down, regulating your mind and body to a state of balance by balancing the breath as you sustain it in and out through your nose. Invite a gentle whispering sound by softly narrowing the back of your throat so it sounds like gentle ocean waves rising and falling. This is the practice of Ujjayi Pranayama, victorious breathing. Keep that sound rhythm going gently and smoothly as you take your time to grab a block and by the widest width, firm it right between your palms with your fingers straight without gripping. So without wrapping the fingers around the edges of the block, but just keeping the palms flat. We're going to continue our practice of shoulders and flexion. So draw your shoulder bones back and press them down into their sockets, creating stability. Now, as you squeeze the block between the palms, begin to rotate your outer upper arms, which are your triceps, towards the floor so that you're externally rotating your upper arm bones in their sockets, causing your shoulder blades to spread wider across your back ribs. And feel that your pinky finger edges are firming deeper against the block and your thumbs are peeling away from the block through this action. As you keep that, sliding the shoulder blades down, place them snug against your back ribs. These 2 actions in the shoulders are what we will practice using creating shoulder stability when we practice different postures of shoulder flexion. So start to raise your arms towards overhead, just to the point where your shoulders can stay relaxed down away from your ears. And notice your front ribs, if they begin to protrude forwards, seal them inward towards your back and lengthen the tailbone down. How's your breath? Now imagine you're squeezing a second wide width block between your elbows. Without flaring the elbows apart, begin to bend them, placing the block towards behind your skull, maybe even sliding the block down your skull to the base of it. Keep hugging the elbows close together so that you see they're not wider apart than your shoulders distance. Sit up tall, breathe in, and peel your shoulder heads back as you glide the shoulder blades further down, lifting the sternum at the middle of your chest and gently lifting your gaze for 2 more breaths. Lengthening the back of your neck. And set the block aside near the front of your mat. And please come on up to stand in Padasana. That's hands together in prayer at mountain pose. Reminding yourself of your intention for this practice. Bring the feeling tone of holding loving kindness for yourself as you move to the breath. Inhale, sweep your arms forward and roll the shoulders back just like you did when holding that block. Exhale, bow forward from your hips. Place your fingertips on the ground or blocks. Inhale, step the left knee behind you to a kneeling lunge and gaze up. Holding your breath, Step into plank pose, top of a push-up. Exhale, lower your knees, then your chest, then your chin. Inhale, slide your belly to the ground, root the tops of your feet in cobra, coiling your chest up. Exhale, lift your hips high and back to downward facing dog. Inhale, step your left foot beside your left thumb and lower your back knee, gaze up. Exhale, step your right foot forward and bow. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, rising into a gentle standing back bend. Exhale, join your hands at your heart center. Same sequence, second side. Inhale, raise your arms and coil your chest up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bow from your hips, Uttanasana. Plant your fingertips. Inhale, step your right knee back, look up, Anjaneyasana. Hold the breath as you step to plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest and chin in Ashtangasana. Inhale, slither to the ground in Cobra or Bhujangasana. Exhale, lift your hips to Downward Dog or Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, step your right foot beside your right thumb, lower your back knee in Anjaneyasana, gaze up. Exhale, step your left foot forward and bow. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead in Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Padasana, hands at your heart. Second series of Surya Namaskar. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Plant your fingertips on blocks, your shins are the floor, and inhale, lengthen your spine forward to Ardha Uttanasana. Step into plank pose and engage your abdomen as you exhale to glide forward and bend your elbows to hug your side ribs through Chaturanga Dandasana. Lower for cobra or flip the toes for upward facing dog, breathing in. Exhale to downward facing dog. Pause, steady your gaze, and tune into 3 deep breaths. Bringing a soft quality to your eyes as you're focusing them. After your third exhalation, walk or lightly jump to the top of your mat in Uttanasana. Then press with your hands and inhale, lengthen to Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold again. Press to your feet, inhale, sweep your arms overhead in Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, join your hands at your heart. Once more. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Step to plank and slowly lower or float lightly to Chaturanga Dandasana. Breathe in to Cobra or Upward Facing Dog. Exhale to Downward Dog. As you cultivate stillness and focus here, notice the energy in which you're approaching that. Bring a kind attention to your body, gentle quality to your breath. When you finish your third exhale, walk or float to the front of your mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Padasana. Moving on to our last series of Surya Namaskars. Let your feet touch, and as you breathe in, bend your knees to touch, maybe grazing the floor with your fingertips as you raise the arms up in chair. Exhale, shift forward and fold, Uttanasana. Press with your hands and inhale, lengthen, Ardha Uttanasana. Step to plank or float to Chaturanga Dandasana. Breathe into Cobra or Upward Facing. Exhale, Downward Facing. Inhale, raise your right leg back. Exhale, the foot beside your right thumb. Drop your back heel. Inhale, face forward and rise to stand in warrior one. Exhale, lower from plank through chaturanga. Finishing the vinyasa, inhale, cobra or upward facing. Then exhale, downward facing. Second side. Inhale, raise your left leg back. Exhale, the foot beside your left thumb. Spin the right heel down. Inhale, rise to stand in Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale all the way down. Continue on to your vinyasa. Pausing in downward dog as you cultivate a loving sense of focus. 3 breaths. At the end of the third, walk or float to the front of your mat with your feet touching there. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Bend your knees. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Padasana. Last time, inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Step or float back. Take it through your own vinyasa. At downward dog, inhale, raise your right leg. Exhale the foot forward, drop the back heel. Inhale, rise, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, lower into your vinyasa. Sense the depth of your breath, helping to slow your body down. Inhale, raise the left leg. Exhale the foot forward, drop the right heel. Inhale, rise, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, lower, vinyasa. Three breaths in downward facing dog. When you're done, walk or float to the front of your mat. Feet touching, inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Knees touching, inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Padasana. Let's turn to face the wide width of your mat. Separate the feet wide and parallel the feet to each other. Bring the hands behind you to clasp. We're actually going to take the shoulders in extension, which is the opposite of flexion. So roll the shoulder bones back, drop the shoulders, and inhale, lift your chest. Then exhale, hinge forward from your hips, lengthening your spine, dropping your head freely, and stretching your arms away from your lower back. Bend your elbows slightly so you can also lift the shoulders up away from your neck. And rock your weight forward so that your hips align with your ankles. In Prasarita Padottanasana, let's listen to 3 to 4 more deep breaths. Bend your knees deeply and inhale, lift your chest, come all the way up to stand. Let's come down to hands and knees and set up your blocks. We're going to take a yin posture, but we're not quite in the yin practice yet. Just a little insertion here to promote shoulders in flexion. So place your blocks in their medium height across your mat like a train in front of you. Extend your arms forward and externally rotate your upper arm bones in their sockets. Depress the shoulder blades. Place your bent elbows exactly shoulders width apart on the blocks. Then step your knees a couple inches behind your hips. Press your fingertips into each other and trace your thumbs down the back of your skull back of your neck and maybe further back while dropping your head freely. Sinking your chest, hug your front ribs towards your back, and draw your sitting bones behind you. Make sure your elbows stay shoulders distance apart, not splaying wider. Sending the shoulders back. Let's listen to another 4 or so breaths. So this is shoulders deep in flexion. Engage your abdomen to lift your chest. Put the blocks aside. And now, extend your arms forward again. Let's prepare for dolphin or supported headstand. If you are free of neck injuries and you want to give supported headstand a try, we'll set up similarly in each pose, and then you can take it step by step to where you choose. So extend your arms forward, and again, externally rotate the upper arm bones in the sockets and depress your shoulder blades. Continue those 2 important shoulder stability actions when we enter the inversion of your choice. Bend your elbows and interlace your fingers, creating a triangular shape with your elbows and heels of your palms or the outer wrists as the vertices. Try to create an equilateral triangle where the elbows stay shoulders width apart as you place them on the floor. Now root down with your forearms and lift the energy up. Continue to create space in your neck by pressing the shoulder blades onto your back ribs away from your head. Now for dolphin pose, just let the head drop or gaze past your hands and tuck your toes, lift your hips, walk the feet forward if possible. For headstand, place the crown of your head on the floor so the back of your skull is lightly supported by the inner webbing of your palms. Use your forearms to press the floor away and create a light lengthened space in the neck. Then either slowly lift one leg up as you square your hips without turning out the leg, flexing the lifted foot, and then follow with the other leg, or lift both legs at the same time slowly, not swinging the legs fast at all because you don't want that momentum to be absorbed by your neck. Keep using your forearms to press the floor away, and if you're lifting both legs, flex your feet together to touch and lift your tailbone towards your inner heels. Try to create a strong vertical line out of the center line of your body, hugging the front ribs in. If you're in dolphin pose, you might choose to lift one leg up for a few breaths and switch legs. We'll be here for a total of 10 breaths or so. When you decide that you're done, keep your head low and let's meet in child's pose, resting. Inversions are helpful for helping to release stagnant energy in the mind and body. They also help to get digestion moving, blood flowing. When you do land in Balasana, child's pose, rest your arms wherever it relaxes your shoulders most. We'll be there for 3 to 5 breaths. Slowing your breath down, listen to it, and keep cultivating that audible balance of in and out breaths. And please extend your arms forward and slide all the way to the ground, entering Sphinx pose. In Sphinx, bring your knees as close together as you can and cross your left forearm in front of your chest. Bending your right knee, back stroke your right arm, now placing that shoulder in extension, counterbalancing what we just did. Take hold of the big toe side of your right ankle or foot. And make sure that your knees are not wider apart than your hips distance, and that you're grounding your 2 frontal hip bones as you turn your chest completely to face forward, so that you're supporting, stabilizing your lower back. For about 5 to 10 breaths. Gently bring your right heel just slightly to the outside of your right hip, opening space in the front of your right thigh or quadricep and front of the right hip, hip flexors, as you relax the shoulders behind you and down, softening your jaw. Stay here, keep breathing. I'm going to switch our music to our yin practice. Let's give it one more full breath. Then gently release the leg, place both forearms in front of you, and slide your knees close together in Sphinx pose. Stretch your legs long behind you and lengthen your tailbone towards your inner heels. Then cross your right forearm in front of your chest and bend your left knee, backstroke your left arm. Catch the big toe side of the ankle or foot and have your knees no wider apart than your hips distance, grounding your 2 frontal hip bones. Turn your chest completely to face forward. Relax the shoulders down and bring your left heel slightly to the outside of your left hip for 5 to 10 breaths. Feel the energy you put into drawing that leg closer, into breathing in and out. Imagine holding your body in the light of loving kindness here. One more deep breath. Gently release the leg and lower your right ear to the ground. Slide your right arm out to the right for more shoulders and extension. Palm face down. Press the floor away with your left hand and begin to roll over onto your right hip. Slide your right shoulder down your back, away from your neck. Little by little, leaning back to find just the degree that your inner right shoulder can feel a sense of balanced opening. Not too much, not too little. Sense the quality of your breath. You might step the left foot behind you on the floor. You might wrap the left arm behind you or not. Feel into what your body needs here. Now let's drop into 5 more deep breaths. When you're ready, slowly roll onto your stomach. Allow a pause for 3 breaths, maybe making a pillow out of your forearms to rest your forehead. Just sense any sensations that might be shifting around. Gradually slide your left arm to the left with a palm face down. Lower your left ear onto the earth and plant your right hand alongside your right shoulder, pressing the floor away with it as you start to roll over onto your left hip. Slide the left shoulder blade down your back and tune into the sensations, especially along your left shoulder. Maybe stepping the right foot behind you. Maybe wrapping the right arm behind you. Slow, deep breaths. Let's listen to 5 more cycles. Take your time. When you're ready to roll onto your stomach, and again, pause for 3 breaths there. Observing your body and your energy. Set your hands alongside your shoulders and press up to your hands and knees. And let's prepare for thread the needle. Have your knees a couple inches behind your hips, or step your right foot out to the right. Sole of the foot flat on the ground, inner arch of the foot in line with the left knee. And inhale, raise your right arm up. Exhale, thread it under your left bent elbow. And lower the right side of your head all the way down. If it doesn't comfortably meet the ground, use any of your props to support your head like a pillow. By flaring your left elbow towards the sky, pressing down with the left hand, give yourself stability and let the shoulders relax away from your neck as you continue to turn your rib cage. Invite your breath to expand into the back wall of your rib cage and even the side ribs. Listen in for about 5 more slow breaths here. Then gently press up to your hands and knees. And start with both knees on the floor as you set up the hands. If you did step your right foot out on the first side, I invite you to do the same with the left foot. Raise your left arm, thread it under your right bent elbow. Rest the left side of your head on the floor or prop. Flare your right elbow up and soften the shoulders away from your neck. Invite the breath to fill up your backs of your lungs and even down into the kidneys, the lowest part of your back ribs. Slowing the breath down, full expansion, slow release. 5 more breaths. When you're ready, gently press up to sit with your legs in front of you. Sit in a way that your spine can be tall, your pelvis evenly grounded through the left and right sides. And rest your hands on your lap as you relax the shoulders back and down. We're going to start with some head rolls, focusing on the neck and shoulders. So drop your chin towards your chest. Inhale, sway your left ear towards your left shoulder. Tilt the chin up. Exhale the right ear towards the right shoulder and slowly tilt the chin down. And take this one more circle in this direction. slowing down as much as you need to be gentle with yourself. Then when you're ready, switch. Right ear to right shoulder, breathing in. Tilt your chin up. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Drop your chin. One more time. And as you come back through center, place the left hand on the right side of your skull. Gently drop your left ear to your left shoulder. Now we're going to add some movement of shaking your head no. So slowly look under your left armpit towards the ground. Keep the breath deep and slow. Using the left hand to traction your movement, slowly roll your head to look up towards the sky. And once again, looking down under your left armpit. And looking up towards the sky. Now within that range of motion, choose one spot to pause at where you might feel the juiciest, and stay and breathe there for another 5 breaths. Be mindful not to slump the lower back, so root to your sitting bones, lift the lower spine, and gently hug the belly in. Softly release your left hand and lift your skull upright. And let's switch the right hand on the left side of your head, gently dropping your right ear towards your right shoulder. Use the weight of your right hand as just sort of dead weight to traction the movement as you slowly look down below your right armpit. Slow breaths. And then slowly look up towards the sky. Feel into how the sensations may shift within this movement. Slowly look down again. And slowly look up. Choose within that range of motion where to pause, where you might have felt the juiciest stretch happening. And then stay for 5 deep breaths there. And when you're ready, release your hand and lift your head. So to further loosen up this area, the heart center, the throat energy center, neck, shoulders, and jaw, I invite you to 6 rounds of Simasana Pranayama with me. And that includes inhaling really full through the nose. And then when you exhale, you open the mouth wide like a lion that's roaring, sticking out your tongue, opening the eyes, maybe even crossing the eyes if that feels releasing for you, and letting out any sound, anything that you need to cleanse and purify from. Take this as a purification process, right? You can get as loud as you're able to in your space. All right, first round, we'll go one after the other, so start to go at your own pace. 6 total lion's breaths. Let's do the first together. Inhale. Keep going. breathe naturally, and just observe your energy. Before we continue with a few more restorative postures, while we're sitting, I invite you into another breathing technique, which will invite calmness, restoration, brain balance of the left and right hemispheres. Alternate nostril breathing, Nadi Shodhana Pranayama. So as you're sitting tall and relaxed, inviting the breath to flow easily, rest your left hand on your lap in a mudra that you choose. Maybe Pran Mudra to cultivate vital life force energy. It looks like a peace sign with a palm face up. And with your right hand, stick out your thumb, pinky, and ring finger in Vishnu Mudra. As you continue to breathe slowly but deeply through the nose, lips closed, you'll use your right thumb to close your right nostril and your right pinky and ring to close your left nostril when you alternate nostrils to breathe, all through the nose. As we practice this, you might also close your eyes and steady your inward gaze at Ajna Chakra, your third eye or brow center of intuition, where sits your pineal gland. This is a way to cultivate mental focus, but also this breathing technique is known to help activate your intuitive center. So we'll practice 3 cycles of alternate nostril breathing together, then continue 2 cycles on your own. Let's prepare by emptying this breath. Hold it out. Right thumb close the right nostril. Inhale through left. Hold it in. Close left. Exhale right. Gently. Hold it out. Inhale right. Hold it in. Close right. Exhale left. Hold it out. Second cycle. Inhale left. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 3, 2, 1. Close left. Exhale right. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 3, 2, 1. Inhale right. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 3, 2, 1. Close right. Exhale left for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 3, 2, 1. Third cycle. Inhale left for 6. Hold for 3. Close left. Exhale right for 6. Hold for 3. Inhale right for 6. Hold for 3. Close right. Exhale left for 6. Hold for 3. Continue 2 more cycles. you're finished, pause, breathing naturally, and sense the way you feel. Continue to breathe naturally. And we're going to set up in a restorative fish pose. Using your 2 blocks or a long pillow. If a long pillow, you can either trace the midline of your mat like this, maybe elevate the farthest edge so it's more like a reclining chair to lean back on, or you can cross the mat so that it's like you're lying off the edge of a bed where your shoulders lightly might touch the ground and your chest feels lifted. But depending on the width and thickness of the pillow, this may or may not feel comfortable in the lower back. The other option is to use a couple of blocks and place them. One is a pillow behind your skull, either on the tallest height, good place to start, or on the medium height, crossing the mat, which will take you into a deeper shoulder release. The second one is at the medium height across the mat. Keep your pelvis on the ground and drop the knees apart so that we can also turn out the thighs. If you want to support your Supta Baddha Konasana with your thighs open, you can create a big loop out of your strap. So it's like a hula hoop. Place it around your waist like a hula hoop, and then wrap it around the outer edges of your feet before you tighten the loop of the strap so that it's somewhat taut, helping to support your thighs as you lie back, leaning the bottom tips of your shoulder blades or just beneath them onto the first block, letting the shoulders roll down into the space between the blocks, and then placing your skull onto the second block. Walking the shoulders down and away from your neck as you flip the palms to face up on the ground beside you. Take a moment to make any slight adjustments, even with blocks, so that you feel a sense of symmetry along the left and right sides of your body. And you can relax into this position and feel held and supported, not having to hold yourself up. And once you find that comfortable stillness, close your eyes. Keep relaxing into natural breaths. And let your attention ride the gentle waves of the inhales and exhales. We'll be resting here for about 3 minutes. So let yourself drop into rest. So bring your attention back to your physical body and notice how it's speaking to you through sensations here in this pose. And start to wiggle your fingers, circle out your hands at the wrists. Bring your hands to your outer thighs as you start to lift them, or remove the strap if you're using it to hold your legs open. Set your feet on the ground and either slowly lift forward or turn to one side, where you can very gradually lift yourself up to sit. And once you're sitting up, take a moment here to step the right foot in front of your right hip, sitting tall. Place the right hand behind your pelvis as you hold your right shin with your left hand. And just gently twist to the right for a few soft breaths. Drop your right knee open. Maybe use a strap around the ball of your left foot, hugging the right foot against the inner side of your left thigh. Flex the left foot and lift your spine tall before you start to extend your heart forward towards your left pinky toe. In a forward fold, Janu Shirshasana. Press your pelvis down and slowly rise up. Straighten the right leg and step the left foot on the ground in front of your left hip. Hold that shin with your right hand and place your left hand behind your pelvis. Sitting up tall, begin to twist to your left side. Then unravel from the twist and drop your left thigh open, bringing the sole of your left foot high against your inner right thigh. Maybe use a strap around the ball of your right foot, flexing that foot as you sit tall. Then extend your heart forward towards your right pinky toe, slowly folding into Janu Shirshasana. Slowly lift up, and let's set up a little elevation for your calves. So you placing your two blocks like an equal sign, but tracing the midline of your mat about mat width apart. Cross it with your pillow on top. Make it a stable structure that's like a little bench. And then place your calves on top of that. Take your folded blanket and come on down to your back. We're setting up for a restorative posture in Shavasana, so rest the heavy weight or the weight of the blanket on your pelvis and belly. And then maybe cover your eyes with a strap or towel or eye pillow if you have one. Let your arms rest slightly away from your sides with the palms up, shoulder blades down the back. Take a moment to feel your body as a whole. Does it feel a sense of balance and symmetry and ease? Make any slight adjustments so that it feels more like that. And sense the breath again flowing on its own. Each exhalation now inviting you to drop deeper inward to a very complete sense of being. Holding yourself here in the warmth of loving kindness. Shavasana. continue to rest here a little longer as you begin to scan your physical body, noticing how your feet feel right now, and slowly climbing your attention up your legs. Observing your physical state of being. When you're ready, begin to slowly move your hands, your feet, gently turn your head. Start to roll over onto your right side, resting your head there, and bringing your attention to the breath. As it naturally flows, notice its qualities. What's your energy like now? And lift yourself up gradually. Find a way to sit as we enter a guided meditation practice on cultivating loving kindness for yourself. Sit in a way that gestures a feeling of kind listening and caring. That might be setting your hands both at your heart center. You might be placing your left hand at your heart, your right hand on your lower belly. Invite your spine to lift tall, your sitting bones to ground, and your body as a whole to relax. Close your eyes or steady a soft gaze on one spot and land a loving attention onto the flow of your breath. Allow a minute to softly focus on your breathing as you let it flow naturally. Noticing if your attention goes astray from the breath, to first observe where your attention has gone. And like you're re-guiding a delicate little child, very kindly re-guide your attention back to your breathing. As you continue to rest on the sensations of your breath, imagine what it feels like to appreciate yourself just as you are, with all our human imperfections, in whatever state your body is in, and whatever state your mind is in, and in whatever weather is passing through you in the form of emotions. What would it feel like to truly accept yourself as you are right now, in the light of loving kindness? Allow a minute to cultivate that bhavanam, that feeling tone of self-acceptance. To know that through all you've been through in this lifetime so far, You're trying your best with all that you know, with the resources that you have. That all your experiences are part of your curriculum to continue growing, learning, expanding. Take a moment to remind yourself of any ways in the past you've stepped beyond a limiting belief or crossed a new boundary. Maybe something that took courage to step out of your comfort zone. No matter how so-called little or large, sense the ways in which you have sought growth as you are now sitting here, committing to your practice. As you recall these ways, I invite you to offer yourself a genuine, heartfelt thank you. Maybe even gesturing in a way that feels like gratitude. As you're sitting here now, I invite you to tune into your inner wisdom, your inner guidance. And for the next minute or so, listen to any nudges of support, encouragement, or insight. Anything that your heart may need to feel right now to help you to step forward in whatever direction you're choosing in your life. I invite you to be open to any sort of intuitive nudges as you step out of your practice and into the rest of your day or evening. Sparks of signs around you in the external world, or nudges within you that are just nudges of support, loving kindness, encouragement. I invite you to magnetize towards those. Notice what you feel now, mentally and emotionally. Take a moment to offer gratitude to anything you appreciate. Come back to your intention for this practice. And recall to whom or what you dedicated this practice. Maybe see them receiving the loving energy that you've cultivated within you. Let's close chanting 3 ohms. Inhale deeply. Bow in, remembering this light that is always within you. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.